Hi, welcome to BOOKLIST.
Hi, welcome to BOOKLIST. Aujourd'hui, j'aimerais vous parler de Le Monde, selon François, mais le Maître du Temps. Alors, c'est un livre vraiment incroyable, je l'ai déjà fini une fois. Et en fait, ça parle d'un petit garçon, donc François, qui va 4 jours par mois chez son papa. Et en fait, son papa, qui s'appelle Bernard, n'a pas de temps pour s'occuper de lui. Alors, à un moment, il part au travail et il appelle la tati de François pour qu'elle vienne le surveiller. Elle fait le bordel, comme ça il se fait engueuler et tatati et tatata. Mais Bernard n'engueule pas François. Et franchement, c'était vachement bien. Et à un moment, il s'endort et t'as quelqu'un qui se transforme en tout petit, vraiment petit, genre ça, qui rentre dans l'oreille de Bernard. En fait, dedans, il y a un ascenseur. Cet ascenseur monte et va dans son esprit. En fait, cet esprit, enfin cet endroit, on rencontre le maître du temps qui est vachement tout petit et on apprend qu'il y en a un dans chaque personne. Donc, il l'envoie toujours en mission et ils font que Bernard se réveille 2 heures plus tôt pour travailler 2 fois plus. Et du coup, quand François se réveille, et il y a l'image, je vais retrouver ça, c'est... Donc là, on voit le maître du temps. Là, on voit bien les cernes du papa. C'était un livre vachement sympa et je vous le conseille vivement. Si vous aimez une BD, ce livre-là est vraiment parfait. Bye!
I'm here to talk to you about my first impressions of the book I got for our New Year tradition. I haven't read it yet because I'm in the middle of another book. But anyway, so this book is called Le Chevalier, Viking and is by a Belgian author called Nicolas Nys. I find the cover absolutely stunning, and my edition is even more special because I even have it signed by the author himself, so that's really cool as well. I did read the synopsis while opening it, and although it confused me a bit to how the story is going to go, I do think it's going to be written beautifully, so I'm quite excited to read it.
I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. I thought we'd enjoy this break from snowing. Well, snowing. There is not that many of snow yet. To go outside and to show you how beautiful our nature looks with this little cover of snow. And to take the opportunity to talk to you about the books I have read this week. Because yes, I'm filming this on Sunday, but don't worry, we have a lot of images to share with you of things we did this week. The first book I want to talk to you about is a manga called Final Fantasy XIV, Eorzea Academy. It is a one-shot manga that is based on the MMO game I play, and I made a video about that. If you're interested, you can go and check that out. It is also talking about a book called Looking for Group by Alexis Hall. And I picked this book for my 5-star prediction bingo prompt for the Game Night at On Lottery. I know that in my TBR video I chose another book for that, but that manga didn't come in from the library. And in the meantime, my husband gifted me the Final Fantasy one. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be a 5 stars, but it was still a very nice read. So in this story, we are going to follow the main characters of the video game, set into a completely different world in a school situation. And during this manga, we will see how the students from the class of light are in competition with the students of the class of, let's say, darkness more than night. These groups are made from the characters that are on the good side and on the bad side of the game's story. And some of the characters that we follow have become students and others have become teachers. And this is one of the things that made it more difficult for me to really enjoy this story, because it didn't feel natural to me to see all these characters that basically are adults in the game being split up between students and teachers. Another thing is that in this story, it is 5 short stories or chapters that sets in motion a part of the challenge they are competing in. And at the end, well, these are all grouped together in some chapter about memories of everything that had happened, and the conclusion in this rivalry between those two classes. It was very fun to read, but not enough to be the 5-star. But if you like this video game, you might enjoy this manga too. The second book I want to talk to you about is a French comic, and it is called Le Château des Animaux, and the first title in it is Miss Bengalore. This is a 4-series comics, and it is based on Animal Farm by George Orwell. And the prologue, no, the little note before it starts, la préface, talks about that they want to bring a new element to the story of the Animal Farm that wasn't portrayed or seen by George Orwell. And in this first installment, we meet a castle that for some reason has been abandoned by the humans and that is now run by the animals. And in this castle, well, they need to farm and they need to keep it restored, so when things fall down they repair. And so all the animals are divided into groups. And we will be following Miss Bengalore, who is the one and only cat. She has 2 kittens she has to take care of, and she has taken over her late husband's job of pulling stones to construct a tower. She is quite unhappy with the situation. We will be thrown into the cruelty of this dictatorship that is ruled by a bull with the help of a horde of dogs that more have numbers than names. And one day in this castle arrives a rat, and this rat tells stories. He's like a troubadour, and he tells a story that is basically Gandhi's story, and he inspires the animals to try to gain their liberty from the despot that is ruling them. Of course, he will be or there will be an attempt of murder on this rat by the dogs to make him silent, because the ruling class doesn't want the other animals to resist their power. This fails, and he's saved by Miss Bengalore. Then, together with a very strange rabbit, they heal this rat and they start a rebellion. What we see in this book that isn't in Animal Farm, and I read it a long while ago, and I have no remembering of this element, but maybe it is that we will also see the side of the ruling class, and that it may be that they have some external pressure on them as well. And we entered this first volume with having established the stakes of both sides and the fact that this rebellion is going to happen. So I am quite looking forward to read the next installments. This book was recommended to me by Quentin, which is the librarian that is in charge of the manga and comic section of our library, because I needed a book for the prompt where animals or objects are humanized, and the book that I picked out for that is ordered by the library, but the manga has not yet arrived. And so I asked him to recommend me something, and he recommended this series, and I am very glad I took this recommendation because it is very interesting. third book I finished this week is Estoril. This is a book that is on my wanting to read list for at least 3 years. I saw it on a YouTube channel, Josh Yaks, and I needed a book that was a recommendation. So this book fitted this prompt. Unfortunately, I didn't finish it in time to have it count towards the lottery, but that's fine. I still enjoyed reading this book a lot. And after all this time, I still remembered why I put it there, and I was very intrigued by the idea of this hotel in neutral Portugal during the Second World War, in which people from all parts of Europe and from both sides of the conflicts came to have a break from the war, and they would all be connected by this little boy staying at the hotel as well. I expected something else, I don't know what exactly, than what I got, but I loved this book. We will start by learning a little bit about this region in Portugal that is like a microclimate and that is attractive for the rich people. It is one of the most expensive areas in Portugal, and it's called Estoril, like the book. I thought it was the name of the hotel, but that's not true. The hotel is called the Grand Palace, and it does exist. And in this hotel, where we will get to know a little bit the hotel, the people who work there, the manager, we will also meet a little boy called Gabriel, or Gabi, who is at the point when he arrives not quite 10 yet. And he is from Belgium and he is Jewish. He was fleeing with his parents who got stuck at a border, and they managed to have their son taken in charge by another wealthy person and dropped off at this hotel with enough money to wait there for his parents to arrive. And we will see all the people that he meets. And what is interesting about this book is that the historical persons of which it's talking did exist, did pass through Estoril. The events mentioned of the war also are correct. And I think that we can also believe then that the things we learn about Portugal's position during the war is also historically correct. And whilst we are against this background of this difficult and strange time period for that country, we will also meet several other persons from the intelligence services and follow their paths through this war and see how it ends for them. I cannot tell you a lot of that part because it is, let's say, the main part of the intrigue of the book. I must say that at the start it was quite confusing, and then the more you go through it, the more puzzle pieces come together and the whole picture forms itself. It felt like a slice of life spy story, and it also reminded me a lot of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's The Little Prince, which is mentioned in this book, and Gabriel has a little bit this position of the Little Prince, who is like this boy that is way too mature in his head for his age, and who has conversations and friendship with adult people and sometimes makes them think about the absurdity of the world around them. I am very happy that I finally read this book, and if you are into this more historical war fiction, I really recommend you to read this. I think it must be the only story about a war in which no bullet is fired. It is time to talk about the final book of this video, and that is The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by Baum, who is also the author of The Wizard of Oz. This was a book that I have read in different sections, like an advent calendar book with Naoki, who loves the books of this very beautiful collection. And I must say that I, as an adult, really enjoyed telling this story. I thought it was very well written. The different aspects of the life of Klaus, how he was born, raised, how he became Santa Claus, were very coherent and didn't feel off against the myth or the story how we tell it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Naoki what he thought about his book, and then I will translate for you. Naoki, qu'as-tu pensé de la vie et les aventures de Santa Claus?
C'était bien, trop
C'était bien.
Et
It was great.
surtout le premier voyage.
And he especially loved the first trip Santa made.
Au pied du sentier qui mène à son entrée se trouve une bande dédiée à la voie de la liberté et récemment repeinte. Quelles sont les couleurs qui la recouvrent?
Deux. Cinq. Toi, tu vas prendre le lutin? Doucement, hein, les gars, doucement, il y a des bouteilles derrière.
Faut venir avec la chaîne.
Montre-moi le lutin, Néné. Oh, mais qu'est-ce qu'il est beau. Fais-lui un câlin, tiens, pour le réconforter. I just realized that I told you yesterday that we were Sunday, but that's wrong. We were Saturday. The whole break of school messed up my feeling of the time. Today we are actually Sunday, and we are in Huy, which is not that far from our house, and we are participating in a game around the city, and we have to follow clues to find out where the missing elf from Santa Claus is. And we got a whole bunch of postcards that are leading us through the city, and I thought it was a very nice place to film an outro for this vlog, because I only have to tell you that I participated in the TBR-a-thon weekend event of January, that I read La Folle Destinée des Kerdelec, Un secret bien gardé by Aurore Delcourt. This is a French-only book. The title in English would be The Crazy Destiny of the Kerdelacs, A Well-Kept Secret. It's the first book in a duology. It's a historical fiction. But if you want to know my thoughts about this book, I redirect you to my vlog dedicated to this read. And I hope that you enjoyed spending with us our typical New Year's reading day. And that you enjoyed seeing the images of the winter forest and the winter city, and that if you had a good time with us, we invite you to join us again next Monday for another vlog. See you soon!